Okay, markets are down largely because the mood and momentum has changed and earnings have disappointed. If prices they improve, mood and momentum can change again, right? Which is negative could become positive and positive could become negative. So I think the out of jail card for the market really would be, one is that we get decent update from banks which are not due to come out with their numbers, and adding to that could be some indication from festive demand. B, we get further indication from government that they are committed to take care of the budget targets, and in the second half of this year we get a huge fillip when it comes to the government capex. Third, we don't have any large IPOs. Hyundai, that's it. Vari was not very large. Swiggy, I don't know when it is coming. Which means that in the near term, post Diwali, once the listing is done, once adjustment is done, hopefully market, there will be no liquidity vacuum per se. But in this market now, I think another 2-3% down on the Nifty, another 5% down on the stock, it's time to start buying. I would stick my neck out and say that it's time to start buying into banks. There's a trade coming in some of the beaten down PSUs. Power and energy transition, I think, is a real deal and it is here to stay. I feel that any market cycle always bottoms out when the consumer companies, they put their hand up in the air and they start shouting for a slowdown. Because in India, the wealth effect is very large, right? What is the balance sheet of India? Indians.
Correct.
Real estate, stocks and gold. All these assets are at an all-time high. So it's not that the wealth effect has been knocked out, right? The wealth is there. It's just that because demand has slowed down because of external factors, I think it could take another quarter or so before it starts coming back. The effect of good monsoon, the base effect of last year, the wealth effect directly, indirectly, all that will start coming back. So I think this could be the worst quarter, or maybe the coming quarter could be the worst quarter. So you will see this market going through a grind and time-wise correction, and within that, when this kind of a market action starts, when everything goes up in a synchronized manner, when everything falls in a synchronized manner, synchronized is the word. When everything goes up in a synchronized manner, time to book profits. When everything comes down in a synchronized manner, time to start buying. So I think you should keep your list ready.
Nikunj, if you talk about the way how the setup has been for the market, everyone's betting that someday or the other you will have the banks that will outperform. But do you think that it is going to be sooner than later that the banks will also start performing in this market?
See, the comeback in bank we've discussed from last 2 years, it's not happened. And it is something which has, the comeback in banks I think is overdue now. And I'll give you a lot of factors here. You look at the initial set of banks. Everybody knows that banks have a problem in terms of liability, but everybody is also aware of the fact that there is no large NPAs, at least with any of the large private banks. See, because the market is slowing down and the aggregate Nifty numbers will even struggle to be 10% for this year, suddenly next year banks have a promise of giving you a growth rate which is higher than the Nifty number. So, 15% growth when everything is growing at 30% looks bad. But when everything is growing at 7-8%, a 12-13% growth from banks will look better. And that will automatically happen because of this year's base effect will kick in next year. And fourth, I think 3-4 years if banks have consolidated, that means the time-wise consolidation and the price-wise consolidation has happened. I don't know when will banks come back, but I am reasonably confident that from here till next 1 year or next 12 to next 18 months, banks will definitely outperform the Nifty. That could be a combination of large private banks, it could be a combination of mid-tier banks, but banks is where the excitement is happening. See, we got the financial theme right. And look at AMCs, look at CDSL, look at BSE. So the financial theme has worked very well. It is just that financials mein banks have not done well. So if that entire theme is moving, it's a matter of time financials will do well because AMCs are at an all-time high. I mean, CDSL is at an all-time high. Brokerages are doing very well for themselves. They are at crazy valuation. Motilal Oswal Securities, look at the numbers. So I think all that put together means that the financial theme is alive.